Hello everybody, welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith. We have moved over to, what is this place even called? What do we call this place? The Secluded Garden. And I'm going through the 6s and 7s that exist here now, but hopefully finding puzzles along the way that are within the mechanic sets that I like. So, what do we have here? Ooh, I do like a little jigsaw-y thing. So, my first thought is, what can fit in a two-side? The only thing that can fit in a two-side is this. Is that at all right? We can't do that, obviously, because that leaves that. We can't do that. Oh, we can do that, which I think actually works better because this was going to leave a shape that we can't utilize. So I think that's there. That's there. One of those. Is that? No, maybe not. Maybe not. Because I think after that, this can't belong to anything. No, it can. It can. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to keep pulling this thread and see how it goes. I had to adjust my fan because it was hitting my monitor with so much force it was causing it to bob back and forth, which was unpleasant. That could go there. Could go there. So I think that's ambiguous. Because if we do this, we could then do that. And then it would have to be that, and then can't fill in 3x3 with what we have left. And we can't fill in that with what we have left. Hold on. You might be cooking. How do we fill out this 2x2 region in the bottom? What does our shape look like this? Alright, my vibe solving has come up against this 2x2 that I can no longer fill in. Well, that's unpleasant. Is there any other way I could fill this out? Not with this existing here. Oh dear, did I let myself get too vibey? No! Oh god, okay. Pretend like you never saw anything. I'm just missing a line here somewhere. Oh, here's a line. Could that be it? Well, what I should really have looked at is this first, because we have fewer options for what can and can't come out of here. There it is, look. That wasn't so bad, was it? Excuse you. Six? Don't give me 6 on that. That was a 5 at best. Shape bank Mingle. Neighboring regions must have different shapes. Here's a 1 and a 1 and a 2 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. This touches a 1 and a 2. Must do that. This touches a 1 and a 2. Must do that. This touches a 2 and a 4. Must do that. This touches a 2 and a 4, but a 1 and a 4, but we don't know if it goes that way or that way, except we do because it can't be that way, so it's this way. That's a 1. That's a 2. That's a 1. That's a 2. That's a 1. That's a 2 by 2. Good. Over here. This has to be a 2 by 2 because if this is a 1 and this is a 2, they touch. So that's 2 by 2. Then if this is 2, this can't be 1 and 1 and it can't be another 2. So that's the 2 that way. Then that's 4. That's 1. No. No. Not quite. Hold on. That's got to be a 1. But we can't do that. It was all looking so promising. Can I not pack? Oh, wait, we could do an inverse of this. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. All right, let's do the left-hand side. So that's a 1. This is a 2, but it can't go up, so it goes left. This is a 1 or a 4. This is definitely just a 1. That's a 2. That's a 4. That's a 1. Right. It's the first one where it doesn't seem like an immediate move is specifically evident. Because I could do 4 and 2 there. Or I could do 1 and 4. Okay, no, I can't do 1 and 4 and 1. Or 2. So that's the 2. 2 by 2. That's a 2. That has to be a 1. That has to be a 2. That has to be a 1. I hope this is going correctly. I really hope it's going correctly. This can't be 2 1s. So that has to be a 2. That has to be a 2. That has to be a 1. That has to be a 2. 4 there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 4. Again, it's not a 6. Or my brain is just wired differently for different puzzles. Honestly, what's going on? Shall we try this then? Actually give me something to work up against with the Gemini deltas. Also, frickin' rose windows. That's a whole thing to be dealt with here, isn't it? Holy. Right. That's a 3. Have that. And that's going to mean that this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a box around it. We got 3, 6, 4, and 8. So this can't be a 3, it can't be a 4. Therefore, it's either a 6 or ambiguous to an 8. That is going to have to be a 3 regardless. That is going to have to be a 3 regardless. Means there's nothing on this column, so that does become a 4. Get rid of our ambiguity. This is going this way. That's got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This has to do that. That's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then, what else? This is a 3. It could be a 3 that way, or this way, except if it goes that way, nothing can exist in this space. So that's going that way. Who does this belong to? Well, we also can realize that this shape bank is also, in effect, Boxy. So we know that this has to belong to something that it can see, which is only that one. That can't reach down far enough to here, so that's going to be a 2 by 2. That's going to be a 2 by 2. That's a 1 by 4. That has to be a 2 by 2 because nothing else can reach this tile. So that goes down to there. That goes either to here or here. Currently ambiguous. So a smidge of ambiguity on there. This tile has to be taken by that guy. That means if that's going to be a 4, it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4 to match. That's got to be a 4 and a 4 and a 3. That's then got to be a 3. That's got to be a 4. 4? No. Okay, something has broken down here. It was all going so well. This needs to belong to somebody. This was 4 long. This was 4 long going up out of the gap because it had to get to a flower. That's 4 long, that's 6 long. That's 3 long. How is this not working out correctly? That can't be 5 long. Oh gosh, we went through so much stuff that all worked so well. And then this one guy here has ruined my day. Alright, let's come back to about here. This tile could only be gotten to by there. Same for that. So this makes sense. If that did that, that would have to go 3. There's a problem with both of these verticals. So if this goes 3, this goes 4. This can't go 5. Oh, I might have repaired it. 3, 3, 3, 4, 4. Okay, I'm not sure where I had it wrong before I wiped it out, but now this looks good. We're 1 off. How do we resolve this? You take that, you go there. You take that. There you go. Again! A 6? Really? I don't understand the grading on these puzzles sometimes. But I will take it. 2 more. Any more in this region that my brain is super happy with? I mean, I'll take a difficulty 7 Boxy mismatch as something to potentially give me a headache. The very first thing my brain just wants to try and do is go, okay, why doesn't this work? Just drawing giant shapes. Oh, it's not neighbors. It's all. That'll do it. Okay. Okay. All regions must have different shapes. Would help if I learned to read. So what I'm going to start out with then on a thought process is we have A, B, C, D, E, it's very cursed, and F for shapes that can exist in a long line but have to be one narrow. Then we have alpha. I can't remember how to do these in Greek I'll be honest. We got those that exist in 2x2 starting regions. This one here has a range of 1 to 3. This has a range of 1 to 4. This also has a range of 1 to 4. This also has a range of 1 to 4. This has a range of 1, let's do that. 11. 1 to 11. And this guy, excuse you, 10. 1 to 10. So, these guys, if we kind of strike this one out and strike this one out for a second, these have to make up our 1, 2, 3, and 4. Obviously, this one can't be the 4. If we then just take a look at here, this is a 2x10. Sorry, this is a 2x5. 2x5. This is a 2x4. This is a 2x5. And this is a 2x5. Now, apart from the specific desire to want to fit the 3 in here because it's the smallest, it's most confined to being a 3 and letting 1, 2, and 4 go in the other ones, there's no real logic behind that. Really, it could be 1, 2, 3, and 4 just as easily. Well, that doesn't actually hold mustard. Because this one... Is it hold muster? Why did my brain say hold mustard? What on earth is my brain just done? This can't be a 1 and a 3 with a 2 and a 4 and a 3 also existing. So, this one gets range 2 through 4, which is something. I was just trying to think of what else now is going to be true. So those are the options that are going to go within these blocks. Right? I like the idea that the 1 by... Wait. Hold le téléphone. If this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 arrangement of some kind, what happens is this protrudes, and now we end up with a 2x4, a 2x4, a 2x4, and a 2x4. But for the 2x4s to all exist like this, we would have to end up with a 1-2, a 2-2, a 3-2, and a 4-2. If we do that, we end up with this twice, 1 here and 1 here. So I think that's going to do that. So we got 1, 2, Okay, so that's 1. Hold on. There's something here for my brain. But we can't do it twice. We don't have to do it twice. We can do 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2. That would make another 2 by 2, which we can't have. So that's the 4. 1, 4, 3, 1. Where does the 2 go? Can't go here as a 2 by 1. So I think that is the 3. Or equally, we could flip this equation and do it that way. I'm going to get rid of all these notes now. I've kind of internalized the opening step of what I'm looking for here. So if this is 2, we can't have 2 of those, and I can't have 2 of those. I can't have 2 of those. And what if that's a 4? No, that's a 4. Can't do that. Alright, there's a version of this that works, and I need to try and figure out something that's gonna... Because I really like the idea of that existing. But that leaves a... Oh, that can just... Excuse you? That can just pick up all of... Well, no, it can't. Can it? Okay, we're getting into lots of competition for who can go where now. This one cannot go deeper. These 3 can. This one, if it's a 3, would do this. Then that's the 4. We can't have a 4 and a 4. So one of them has to be the 2. That's a 7. This is a 5, which would be allowed. That leaves this to be the 2. 1, 2, 3. But I can't do... No, I can. I can do a 2 by 2 and a 3 by... No, I can't. Ah, I thought I could. I missed the 2 by 3 over here. So I can't do this again. Yes, I can. No, I can't. God, the drawing the boxes around stuff to lock it in for parts of the potential conflict is such a tease, because then I could have just done that. Oh, those 2 are the same. Oh boy. I need something that locks me into a definite sense of correctness. And I don't know what that thing's going to be. What a beautifully constructed puzzle. My brain's like, what if this existed? That's the 1, 2, and the 4. It just can't. So, we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4 wides. And then this is 5 deep, this is 5 deep, this is 5 deep, this is 4 deep. A 5x2. A 5x2 can be a 2x2 and a 3x2. A 1x2 and a 4x2. And that's the only options. Or as a natural 5x2. So then what happens? At what point does any of that decide it wants to impact how these are constructed? These three. I mean, if they are built this way, then it's this, this, and this to make up this, this, and this. Therefore, I think that has to be... Well, no, because we also have this to have to fill in at some point, right? I'm really wondering if we're going to end up with something like this. But that's the 4, the 2. We can't have another 2. Oh, God. What's the line to get a definite break in? Is the real question, isn't it? So we have the options of 2-2 and a 3-2, a 1-2 and a 4-2, a 5-2, and then there's another one, which I feel should tell me something about the way I build out these spokes. 5, 4-1, 3-2, 4-2. Obviously not necessarily in this, but this is the only way that this can go. So then that's the 4. All of these end up with a 1 being left there and there, though. Well, we can do that differently to a 1-3, but I can't have a 1 twice. Or a 4 twice. So 4-2-1. Doesn't work. None of this works, man. Because, like, I'd happily do that to slice off a chunk of that, you know? But we've used everything else that can make this work. So how else could we build the spokes? If that was the 2x2, I could do that. Or even... If that was the 3x2. It preserves my ability to have a 2x2 somewhere else. We just fill in a bigger volume. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's something here. I don't know what it is. How else could we take what we have? Because like there's other shapes that are like this that could be part of a solution. Two, three. Can't do another 2. And so I end up just kind of not having anything that is definitive as a foundation, which is a problem. I know lots of the limits, I just don't know how to take those and say, okay, here is something that must definitely be true. Two, 3, 1, 3. That's the 3. That's that. We haven't used... No, we have used a 2. Tell me why this is wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've used the 2x2. That's 5. Where could I replace this to make... That's a 6 long. That's competing with that currently. I feel like this is very close if I could just finesse these two edges a little. Just a smidge. So it's 10 and 10. We've already got a 4. We don't have the 6. But we do have the 2x2. It's just that one thing that isn't right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is there any world where this is correct so far? No, there is at least one mistake. It could be humongously far back in what I've built so far. Probably suggesting that none of the foundation I've built here is even remotely correct. Oh. How were those 6s the easiest thing in the world? And this 7 is then subsequently the hardest thing in the world. I understand this being a 7. I don't understand those being 6s. So that's the 6. That's the 8. We had a 1. Oh, brain. I want to solve this puzzle. Do I really need to go back to making just an obscene amount of notes about some things? I know what I have, though. I know what my limits are. Let me just challenge a couple of my assumptions here. Yeah, those are going to be too wide, okay? They're not going to be like some sneaky, thin line stuff going on. This is either this or this. I don't think anything else can be true. So that's ambiguous. Okay, well, if that's my 4 or my 5... we got a 2-3, a 1-2 and a 4-2, and a 5-2. So, well, that's no good. Oh, brain, stop. I really... Right. This is a 5x2. It can exist as 2 and a 4, or a 3 and a 2, or a 5x1. This is a constituent component of that. How can we have all of these things be true? Can't have a second 2 from that. I haven't fundamentally figured out how I can have 4 things be true off of the lobes when I only have a limited number of recipes for the lobes, you know? That's my problem. That's the thing I'm not doing right. Oh. What can I do? about this? I do not know. We also can only have 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, and 1 5, and obviously upwards from there. There's 6 of these. These 2 seem to be the freebies. Seem to be the freebies. If I use this here, I don't get to use it somewhere else where it might be more important, right? Two, 4, 6, 10, 8. With something over it. Okay, so maybe this isn't the 4. If this is not the 4, this is the 3. Well, I could do something like that. Though this now ends up with another pair of 3x3s. Three, 1, 4. Wait. Wait. No, this one's wrong. Oh, I thought I was so close. So that's a 6, this is a 6. Then that's a 25, this is a 20. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 6, that's a 6. Oh, that's so cruel. If I could have done that and that, it would have been so great. These two are also the same. I wasn't anywhere close. Oh dear. I've just had these two sitting in the open this whole time. 4, 6, 10. But I can't have 2 4s. We're really getting on for time now as well, which is a bummer. A 2 and a 4. We can't do a 1, 3 and a 3. Or a 1, 2. I'm so lost in the sauce. And like, I know there must be some version of what my brain is working at. I just don't see like the trick or something about where this all suddenly starts to work. We've used a 2 already. We haven't used a 2x2 already. Does this all... No. Did 2 of those. Dummy. 3. We did a 2x2. We did an 8. We did a 4. Okay, I need something. Something. Like, the thing I could do is I could just ask the game, is this where the 3x3 goes? But that's not how I like using the check progress tool. I want to know that my logic was sound, not to just give me a piece of the pie, you know? How can I do 4 spokes with only 3 recipes for 5x2? Like, have we stuck that as the 1 yet? But then that would mean this ends up being, what, a 5? That's just massive. That can't be another 5 next to it. It would have to be longer. And that would leave this being those the same, or this and this the same. So that's no good. Well, what if that's not a 2-4? What if that does just go long? It's a slightly different recipe, isn't it? But we still end up with a 2x3 in that recipe. We have a 10 and an 11. And that is the 2. I can't do this, though. And I've already used a 3, but I guess I can just chop that off and do something chunkier there. I haven't used a 2x2 yet, so I could do a 1 and a 3x3 and a 2x2. What do I have left for this guy, then? Does that mean I haven't used this shape? And I haven't used that shape? No, I have used that shape! And I've used the 1. So what haven't I used? 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's nothing here that I can put that works. I've used a 1. I've used a 2. I've used a 3. I've used a 4. Can I get any of those back? I would love to make use of that as a shape, but the big open spaces are not where the problem lies right now. 2, 3, 4. We haven't used... No, we have used the 2x2. Is any of this How do I even find where I've made even remote progress? That's what's killing me right now. Just having nothing. Oh my god, this is correct. Well, I don't feel great about it, but I wasn't getting anywhere. So this is an 11. This is our 2x3. What can I do with that? This probably can't come out to here because that makes another 2x3. This can't be two 2x2s. If that's a 5, and that's that, and that's that, does that build out correctly? Yeah, okay. That's the 3, that's the 4. We've got a 2x2 and a 3x3. So we can't do this. We can do that and this, but now 3, 4, 1, 2. But we've got this exists already, so I can't use it up here. If that one existed instead, what could I have for this? Did this get built out correctly? No. So this is what we know was true. If it was something wild and that was the one, could you imagine? Oh, I remember an hour ago when things were easy. God. I don't even feel good about this because, like, I have no logic as to why this exists here apart from the 3 being where a 3 most likely fits. But I said that way back at the start of the puzzle and I was like, oh, it's probably not true. Just because, although these protruding out long did make slightly more sense. We just can't protrude out that long twice. Unless... that seems like it's probably not true. Yeah, because we can't do that. Or that. Does this stop at 5? Yes. Okay, that stops at 5. Okay. If that did that... could that... have we used a 2 yet? 2, 3, 4... if we've used 2, 3, and 4, we can't build these out. It just can't be done, right? So this can't be correct. Okay, where else is this correct? Okay, that's where our 4 exists at the bottom. Sure. So the 3 and the 4 are in. This can't be right, because we can't do another one of these or a 2, 4 of those. So what else could we do? Can't do... The 4 is correct, the 3 is correct. A 1... 1, 2, 3, 4. This can't exist. How do I do the ends of both of these things so that they both comply? When this is correct, we've got the 4, we've got the 3. So one of them has to be a 2 in this, I think. But we can't have a 1, 3. So we would have a 1 and long. But I can't have this existing twice. So how can I resolve these two sides? Four, 3. We got 2 4s. We can only use a 1 and a 2. Because we can't do that now. Because that puts 2 2s in. I think one of them has to be the 1. I just can't visualize where I can put boxes that are different shapes to keep everything moving forward. This is most likely this, which leaves weirdness over here. One, 2, 3, 4. If that's a 2, how can this exist? Oh my god, is it that? Oh. Yeah, I can't say I understand how you get your in to this puzzle. I was correct about like the 1, 2, 3, 4 business. It was... So these ended up being the 5x2, the 4x2, and then this is the 3x2 and the 2x2, except it's a 3x3 and a 2x2, which my brain never got. And then this is a 2x3 and a 1x2 with extra spliced into the middle. Well, it's solved now. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.